Hey, yo, listen, the new count-in is crazy, y'all. You have to be in the studio to hear the new count-in. Shout out to Drew. He gonna keep me on point, man. Welcome back to Expediting Change. It's your host, SHOMARI, man. I appreciate y'all continuing to pull up on me. We have some very special guests today. I'm super excited. I don't know if you can see the goosebumps I got on my arms, but this is gonna be a great conversation for you to learn about wellness, for you to learn about entrepreneurship, for you to learn about partnership, being in business with someone, because it is hard at times, y'all. Y'all know my wife is my business partner, my sister is my business partner, my brother-in-law is my business partner. So we're going to talk about all of that, man. But you are definitely going to enjoy this episode. And I already know if you're not, you're going to inbox me. But instead of inbox me, subscribe and put it right in the comments. Ain't no bad feedback. But we're going to get right into this thing and allow them to introduce themselves. Ladies first.
So my name is Melissa Kingston. I'm the co-owner of this beautiful establishment, Hammer and Nails Dupont. I am prior military as well. I got out in 2018, and I'm a government contractor. So
Nice.
Little bit of something.
Little mix. A little mix.
Some light.
My name is Jeremy Crutcher. I'm the other co-owner, prior military also, and I write contracts for the government also.
Prior military and government contracting.
Go Army.
Go Army. My
Navy.
sister, I think she's, you Navy and you Army. Yeah. So it's already beef right out the gate. We beefing. We ain't even 90 seconds in and we beefing.
It's a tough time. Tough time that Army Navy.
No doubt. No, ooh, I can imagine. Do y'all play it on the big screen?
This year, I think we're gonna host something this year for it.
That's dope. Did I get a free ticket? I like a free ticket. All right, that's a bet.
Virtual. With love.
So Hammer and Nails Dupont Circle, man. First, let's jump right into Hammer and Nails. Why Hammer and Nails? It's a franchise. Individuals always talk about don't open franchise, do something yourself. I'm sure franchise fees are expensive. I'm sure going through the process was. So why did you choose the quote unquote constraints of a franchise?
I felt like they had already had the structure for us.
Yeah.
And when I went in for a service, I just kind of like how they brought the customer service back to barbering. I felt like during the pandemic, the customer service kind of went away. So I was like, why not bring this back? And also it tied mental health and like grooming for men. We're not that well diverse when it comes to men's grooming. So I felt like if they see someone that's young, someone that represents us, then they'll be more entitled to do it.
So what did y'all learn about Hammer and Nails going through that process of your research to ultimately get Hammer and Nails? Because you clearly knew a little bit about it, but then as you got into it, you started looking behind the veil. Like, what did you uncover? What did you find that said, we have to do this, we locked in?
So we actually saw the Virginia location when she was building out. Okay. And it's definitely underutilized, and it's a billion. Self-care for men is growing. It's $1 billion industry, and even just the concept for DC, we're the first and only location in DC of our kind. There are similar establishments like us, but usually they're short manicures or pedicures or something else. Yeah. We are the whole picture, and we're trying to bring a lot more to our location. Yep. We are also one of the largest locations in the U.S. We have about 75 so far, but it's definitely something that people are still not aware of, and self-care for men still isn't something that's prioritized.
So define that a little more, Mel. Self-care for men. Like, what does Hammer and Nails offer?
So Hammer and Nails, so our location has manicure, pedicures, warm foam shaves, which we get a lot of feedback that a lot of barbershops do not have warm foam shaves. It's very relaxing. Our guys are snoring constantly upstairs. Look, we're not talking about...
I mean, already, Jay, what?
Talking here. But we love it because people come in and just seeing people come in, we get the complimentary beverage. We have a full bar here. Our members also get a complimentary beverage. When they come in, they're stressed out after a long day. Some people are in suit and ties. We have people from all over the world, literally all over the world, that come from the embassy and the walks of life. And then they leave, they're happy. They're like, the team's great. The atmosphere is great. I'm so relaxed. We have people come here. They do their Zoom calls, they disconnect, they talk to, their fellow members and peers. And it's just we're trying to build a community. It's not just a barbershop. It's not a nail salon. It is something different for the men to come. And this is their space.
I love that. Why Dupont Circle?
So we actually live in Virginia, but with Dupont Circle, we wanted to amplify on the bar aspect and turn this into, like I said, an after-hour event, a speakeasy, and to bring community in. We've already had several events, R&B night. So with our location, we have a bar. We actually have a liquor license. Not a lot of locations can sell alcohol. We have a liquor license here, which is very few. So we not only do we complimentary, but we can also utilize as a bar.
As a member, I get to have a free drink.
Correct. Yeah.
I like that. So I can get
Yeah.
saucy and get my hair cut.
If you'd like. And feel free to have 5 or 10 more. You know, it's just 5 o'clock somewhere.
Another unique thing about it is that it's not just a regular liquor license, it's a tavern license. So technically, we actually can be a club. So if you look at our license, it actually says shop hours, and then it has entertainment hours after to 3 in the
We're
morning.
able to scale it.
Or just, you said it kind of fast, so I actually just learned something. So there's a difference in the style of liquor license you can have. Explain both of them to me.
So there's 2 types, as far as I know. You have a regular liquor license where most places have to serve food.
Yeah.
Since we have a tavern license, we're able to operate as a regular bar or club. We don't have to sell food.
Oh, so how is that an advantage for Hammer and Nails Dupont?
We're able to scale our footprint. So like I said, we already have one of the largest locations. We have 2 levels. And now we're able to, after hours or even during, we can separate the space. People can rent the space and make this a full venue to entertain, to host events, to network, to have business owners come together. So we're able to really, most spaces for Hammer Nails is 1 level. You walk in, it's the front desk. You have the cut and shave area, and then you have a few chairs at the back for manicure, pedicures. So ours is just sky's the limit.
So like the ancillary services. So I can get my hair cut, I can get hot towel, I can get my feet done, I can get my hands done. All that. That's dope. Talk more about the waxing piece as another
So
service.
waxing is just neck up for now. So it's ear, nose,
What you mean for
eyebrows.
now? What else are we waxing?
We'll see.
What we
got
waxing,
ours.
Jeremy?
No. I only stick to the nose and that.
When people ask, we try to deliver. We've had people ask about cigars. We've asked about outdoor seating, storing alcohol. So it's why not?
So stirring alcohol is a key. Wait. I asked for a locker. Can I just go get my own locker and just bring it in? I want my own locker.
We've had people ask. They're like, look, I'll come here regularly. Like, let me store my stuff.
The problem is that we just don't want any locker. So I kind of was looking, I've been doing some research trying to find something that's more facing out so that you can actually see. So it's more presentable. We just don't want just a regular locker where people just kind of stick in there. Because we could really do, if we wanted that, then we just could do that behind the bar and just put your name on it.
You don't want your clients to go to IKEA and just go get it. You know what I mean? Just drill it into the wall. So you hear they told me don't go get my own locker.
We have to match the, the aesthetic and the fly. Yeah.
I love that. I want to deep dive into the business part for my listeners, right? So what made you ultimately want to pull the trigger from a financial investment perspective of Hammer and Nails as a franchise when there's lots of other things that you could have put your money into?
Because there's not a lot out here that's like this type of model. We did a lot of research on the other stores and saw how fast they were growing. We wanted to get into something where it was still on the ground, because once it blows up, then the return on investment is kind of low. So we looked at, if we get in from the ground up, more risk, then a bigger reward.
And we get to grow with it. It's bottom up. So at this point, they ask for our feedback, and we see real time when it's, hey, here's a vote on how things should go in the next month or 2. And we see it live roll out like, hey, since you guys voted towards this thing, it's actually being implemented.
So for my investors out there, young and old, interested in doing some investing, this is a franchise. So from that perspective, what were some of the learnings that you would give to the audience?
Yes. I would
That
say
you want to share. Yeah,
I would say
share everything.
I would just give this, not just as a franchise. I would just say, before you dive in, get you a mentor.
Say more about that.
It'll save you a lot of mistakes. As I look back on this, if we would have someone to kind of sit us down and show us, hey, don't go this route, do this route. Some things is not needed. I think we were so cautious in the beginning because we had never done anything like this, especially on this massive. We kind of went in very, very cautious. So we spent so much money on lawyers reviewing everything. Our lawyer reviewed everything. And it strung out the process, ended up costing us time, ended up costing us delays in opening, because it might not have been that big to most people, but because since we didn't know, we've never done it before, we were like, hey, can you review this? Can you look at this? Can you tell us this is right or not? So I would say mentor.
But this is our first brick and mortar.
Okay. So moving from the type of businesses that you had before, this is a new style of business, and to have some type of mentorship that would have guided you through this process would have been helpful.
Because you don't know what you don't know. So you can't ask questions if you don't know, if it should be a question or not.
So I've been having this conversation about the difference between a mentor who is supporting you through the process, also that individual is like in an emotional capacity when you need a shoulder to cry on, versus an advisor who you pay an advisor to give you advice. Like, would it have helped to have the combination of both? Do you think an advisor would have just been too?
I say advisor.
Okay.
I say more mentor because you can interchange them. But
yeah.
I feel like you want someone that you can trust.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say mentor. An
Yep.
advisor, you only trust them as far as your money.
No doubt.
Your money
Respect.
run out, then they might not throw you no more bones on
For
you.
sure. For sure. I respect that. So now into the process and where you are, have y'all found those mentors or advisors, or where y'all at in that process? Because you're doing good. The location looks beautiful. Now, though, you go from the planning of the business to now executing the business. So there's also, you don't know what you don't know. So how's that working out for you?
Still trial and error. Still going through a lot of trial and error. Reaching out to people like yourself, kind of get advice from you, asking like, what if you had some recommendations? How would you have done things like that? Reaching out to our barbers because they understand barbering, or we understand business. So things that we can improve. Talking with other new franchisees, seeing that our struggles are not just our struggles; they go through the same thing. And I think at this point, by us still filling it out, I think we're probably going from looking for an advisor to potentially start being advised.
Absolutely. That growth, that maturation. So for someone standing on the sideline, y'all said specifically that this is the largest one, right? And then it being the largest one, y'all went from what you were doing before to now this is a brick and mortar. That's a big jump. Like, so talk to me about your decision making and the courage. What inside of you said we got to pull this trigger and make this leap? Because
We're
it's
go
big.
big and go home type of
Respect it.
people, and it's like you have to just take the chance.
No doubt. No doubt.
And that's just how we've always been in our careers. Before this, after this, we're always gonna, you have to push the boundaries of life, and then see. I always tell people I would never want to get to a certain age and regret not trying. I want to say I tried it, I failed, I broke a limb, I did all the things. There's no regrets. Even now, there's no regrets.
Yeah. What would you say?
Um,
Big leap. What pushed you? What pushed you to make that big leap?
I'm not scared of it. Like I take risks head on. So I'm not. I would like you said, I'd rather do it and say you've done it and learn from it. So the next time you do it, then you don't have that problem. We go to school for 4 years and invest about the same amount of money that most people invest in a business, and you come out with nothing. You can't even get a job sometimes. So why not take that risk, learn, and then you can move forward? At least you have some type of credibility.
Absolutely. They say entrepreneurs jump off of a bridge or jump off of a mountain, off of a cliff, and they figure out how to build a plane on the way up. Is that how it has been for you?
Definitely. Definitely from the beginning, because funny story is that it wasn't even supposed to be this big.
Really?
Yeah, we were like, it's supposed to be half this. We didn't have no intention of going this big. And within a month, it doubled. It doubled. We walked in, we wanted the top floor. And then the guy was like, I can turn it into one business and I'll give y'all the tavern license. So we went from what we had was our limit until it doubled, and we didn't even know how we was going to come up with it.
And we're like, how are we going to do this? And we just made it happen.
We just knew that, hey, we'll figure it out. Because that's
So
life.
pull on that thread. Like, I want to talk about that. That's dope, because you had to have some type of feeling like, oh shit, this just doubled. Now what? Like, what did you do next?
Sat with it, ran numbers, and like, let's go.
Sat with it, ran numbers.
And I'm an energy person, so we've always had businesses drop in our lap and like, no, it's not right. No, it's not the time. This doesn't feel. Even business partners, it doesn't feel right. And then when it fell in our lap and Reston location opened, walked it when it was just a shell, and it just was like, let's do it.
I want to. That's literally where I was going. I want to tease that out real quick, because a lot of times they say emotions don't belong in business, but we are a ball of energy and emotion. So think about that. Think about what was said. They tapped in. The first thing was sat with it, because if you tamper down those emotions, that's called your intuition. And your intuition is telling you something, regardless of what you may believe in from a spiritual perspective. When your mind, your body, and your spirit is telling you something, you should listen to it. So I love that. But then the next thing you said that they said that was very practical was, after I sat with myself, I looked at the numbers, right? Because I might feel good, the energy might be dope, but if it don't make numbers, then it don't make sense, right? So I absolutely love that. So y'all pulled a great segue into wellness, because that's a perfect transition into talking about wellness. When individuals come here, how do you set the mood around, this is a spot for you to just, no pun intended, let your hair down?
I think when they come through the door, we greet them. We ask, we greet them by name. We ask them, first, how was your day?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the most important thing. And especially as men, we go through life, and it's rarely we ask, are you okay? How's your day? And we have a lot, and most time we have a lot on our mind. And growing up, the barbershop, it was always the spot where you went to and you had those talks.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's kind of got away from that. So that's the main thing. And then when you bring them downstairs, I think it kind of just, they kind of see where they at, and it kind of relieves them.
Yeah.
Like, this is I'm here. This is where you're supposed to relax at.
And I've had men come, like when they come down, it's like, oh, this really is for men. Most people don't believe it. Even if we call, they're calling us, they're getting a consult. They're like, okay, yeah, okay, it's for men, it's for men. They come and they're like, oh, this really is for our space.
My space.
It's my
I
space.
love that. And we're not promoting MySpace old stuff. This is their space. It is their space. I love that. So the stigmas around men, pedicures, manicures, towel, facials, like, talk about that, because a lot of men don't do, let me look at what my fingers look like. Look at what my fingers look like. Don't do manicures and pedicures, but that's a part of self-care, right? So talk to me about that.
I let her lead into that, because
I call myself the self-care queen. And it's not just physical, it's the gym, it's your diet, it's your vitamins, it's therapy, therapy. But when you come here, that's why I said our goal is to build on it. Self-care is for everyone.
For sure.
And I want the men to understand that this shouldn't be another task. Like, oh no, let me go get my hair cut. No, you should enjoy it. Like, let me come 30 minutes prior. Let's sit down. Let's have a beverage. You may sit next to someone you can collaborate with. We have a lot of great people that come here. And for you to be able to come early or stay after and disconnect, which guys do all the time. We've had people come an hour prior. So this is for you all to come, disconnect, and hopefully we get to a point, and we haven't been open a year yet, where you can come and have a collaborative, discussion here, where you're going to have lawyers. You may be another entrepreneur that wants to open a business, and someone right across the hall is sitting who does the same thing, so just have a collaborative space. And this environment, I will say, Dupont Circle is amazing. The community is amazing. Everyone comes to us and asks us, how can we help you? How can we help you grow? How can we want to see you succeed? We have a lot of business owners like, hey, I want to see you win, from all walks of life. And it's amazing.
Absolutely.
We feel very welcome here.
So to Jeremy's point earlier, you said that they come in and network. I think it has gotten to the point where individuals come in, get their hair cut, and leave. Right? Like, not here, not hammer. And
that's where the barbershop is, because everybody's so busy.
Exactly, everybody. But it didn't used to be like that. You would come in
Saturday,
like that was literally your Saturday, right? So what are you seeing in your clients? Like, is there resistant to that? Are they like, oh shit, this is what used to take place when I was a kid, right? Like, what are you seeing in the men that are coming through here?
A lot of them are coming in and they're starting to get back into that. The first couple times they come in, it's usually in and out. But then as they get comfortable with the space, and since we're always on site, the owners, I think it makes them feel even more, a little bit more comfortable. And they're coming in, sitting longer. They're starting to, like, we had a guy come in, I think day before yesterday. He came in, and I was like, "You're here early." He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go down to the bar and watch the soccer game." And so they are starting to, like, understand that and receive it.
So you're literally going against the grain in some instances to shift the culture to wellness. Like, that's a big,
On every level.
big deal, especially for men who oftentimes, from a vulnerability and transparency perspective, stiff arm, doing the Heisman all the time. So blessings to you for doing that. That's absolutely dope. let's specifically get into how do you sell the services to individuals who have that mindset that I just want to come in, pay $30 for a haircut. I know it ain't no $30 haircut
get
here.
that.
Pay $30 for a haircut and get out. Like that's not your customer base.
Yeah, this was just exactly that's what I was just about to say. Like if someone comes in like that, then that's like like you said, we educate them, and that's not our target audience.
Some people don't want pampering. They don't want hot towels or lavender infused hot towels. They don't want a peppermint.
I had the guy pause you.
Lavender
The lavender. You heard the lavender.
lavender and your cold peppermint towels. They don't want the facial. They don't want your charcoal mask.
Yeah.
They want just a haircut. They want the hair. Hey, leave the hair on me and I'll go to the house and shower. And that is okay. If you just want kind of a quick thing, we are not for you. And that's okay. There is a place for everyone. For the guys who enjoy the pampering, the massage, the cold towels, the hot lavender towels, the massage, and the community here. We have a front desk concierge that greets you, that brings you your beverage, that we can curate for you. If that's what you enjoy, we are for you. If you like an experience, that is for you.
Love that. I love that you use the word curate. That's so dope. So how do you, your TAM, your total available market, right? Like how do you identify those individuals? Is there walk up? You sending out pamphlets? You putting stickers on cars?
So I think that we don't have to find them; they find us. When you Google, men's grooming, we pop up. So it's not like we having to go out and panhandle and sit on a corner and hand out flyers and stuff like that. They find us.
Word of mouth, we get a lot from too.
Because the men that want to be here, they're looking for us.
So, but let's take it to a business perspective though, right? So I'm a business owner. I'm looking to invest. I got to pay the bills, right? So at the end of the day, that wellness and that piece is what I want to do, but I still have to have some numbers to be able to cover it. So how is your marketing strategy for that TAM, that total available market, to say, hey, I know I'm gonna find X amount of customers that's just gonna come to me naturally, but then I need to close it with whatever your delta is. You don't have to say what it is. How are you thinking about that? If I'm like a young business owner, because what you've built here is, this is not just a moneymaker for me. This is also supporting the culture. Sometimes that can be tough. That can be real hard because the electric bill still got to be paid. Light bill still got to be, the water works in here, I know, right? So how do you do that? How do you sync that from get more members, being able to pay the bills while you're providing for your constituents, your culture?
We run a lot of ads, Google ads, and that's one thing about being in a franchise. Franchise uses it all over the U.S. All over that we get the global marketing. That's one good thing about being in a franchise. Two, social media. We try to get a lot of social media influencers to come in and do services, and also we want people that they're looking for that type of service, so they're already following those people. So it's kind of like, when you're younger, we see a movie star and they're doing it. So we're like, hey, I want to do it. Now our social media is taking the place of that. And we're able to tap in at a lower dollar amount. So we are heavily involved into reaching out to social media influencers and allowing them to come in and use the space and kind of share their experience. So that way.
And so between the franchise marketing, we also push our own marketing, plus the collaborations, plus word of mouth and everything else that, kind of compounds. But you have to market. People don't know you're here sometimes, and not everyone Googles. So
Who's your biggest competitor? Actually, not who, like what? Yeah, like do y'all have?
There's no competitor. There's nobody like us. We have people that we don't compete with barbershops because we're not a barbershop. We don't compete with a nail salon because we're not a nail salon. And then we don't compete with a wellness spa because most wellness spas are geared towards women. So we really don't compete with nobody. Good point. We're kind of in our own niche.
Let me push back at y'all then. How do you create a baseline for success? Because oftentimes it's being able to say, here's where I want to be, here's what I'm going to grow to, but comparing it to what my competitor may be doing. How you doing that?
For me, success is about the experience and the feedback.
Okay.
And a lot of people find us because of our Google reviews. Yeah. When you have over 100 reviews at 4.9, that speaks for itself. Okay. Like amazing time, amazing staff, very professional. That feeds me, at least. I'll speak for myself. When the bills are paid, your members are happy, and you're doing something you love, that is success for me.
I'm not even gonna charge y'all for this one. Y'all are creating a new baseline based off disrupting the market. Y'all are market disruptors. I love the explanation. You're not a wellness spa because, you know what I mean, that big, huge joint in Virginia is tailored to women. In most cases, I'm not, look, don't clickbait me, you know what I mean? And say I don't like men or women or something. Don't do that to me. The second you said barbershops, right? Like you're not just a barbershop. And then third, the piece of the manicures and pedicures are not only that. A consideration for you all is setting that baseline to say, as a market disruptor, here's where we are. And that's a competitive advantage for you all. So in your marketing from a competitive advantage perspective, y'all do what nobody else in the market does, except for other hammers and nails. So now let's talk about that.
Then we also, but then we also separated from the rest of the hammer and nails because of the way our space is built.
Yeah.
There's no 2-story space built. There's no space with a full bar. There's no space where our Lux members have their own room.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask Lux member own room. We gonna have to define what a Lux member is. But before that, I have a question. So why would I choose Hammer and Nails Dupont over Hammer and Nails Virginia or Hammer and Nails Annapolis?
One, you don't get.
He smirked. Uh-oh.
For one, you're not gonna get an alcoholic beverage from the bar.
Okay.
You're only gonna get beer or wine.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Okay.
Two, I just think you don't get us. You don't
For
get our
sure.
character. You don't get us we're here every day.
Yeah.
One of us is here every day. Most of our guests know us by name.
Yeah.
And then, even behind the bar, we're behind the bar serving the drink still, talking to the guests.
Yeah.
So that's why I would choose it.
Sure.
To me, it's more the personality that comes with it.
Back to that curated experience. I love the word you use, curate. Back to that, you have the actual owners in the building taking care of you, similar to, I'll liken it to us, right? In our charter school, we have a niece or nephew at every single grade level. So we believe that this school is good enough for you because it's good enough for my own family. And I'm here. You could pull up on me. So I absolutely love that. Let's go back now to the Lux member. What is that? What is a Lux member? I don't know what no Lux member is. What's a Lux member? And why should I be a Lux member?
It's a different service than the rest of them. It wasn't originally rolled out when Hammer and Nails first came out. They actually brought it out maybe a couple years after the franchise was started. It's basically your very high-end services. It's most of the same service that you're going to do on your VIP and Classic, but a lot of products are changed out. Our face mask is 24 karat. It has 24 karat gold in it. A lot of the
24 karat gold on your face.
Yeah, in the face mask. Yeah. And then when you're doing your facials, it has like the CBD ointment in it. The towels are more of a thicker quality. It also what else?
The whole experience is just more elevated. It's definitely a opportunity to slow down. It's in a separate room. You have your own barber. You're separated from everyone else in the space. It is, like I said, it's a little bit longer. It's a hour-long cuts, an hour-long barbering, beard services, and no one has ever done a Lux service and hated it. And they always indulge. And then it's also great for entrepreneurs and business owners. We have business owners, if you do get a complimentary guest. So a lot of times if they're working with clients, they'll bring the client in as well. And now it's just an opportunity to just sit. You have your Zoom, your Skype calls, and you talk to your client while getting pampering. It forces you to slow down.
And it's private. It's private because as a Lux, usually most of our Lux members are people that are busy all day.
Yes.
So when they come in, we're able to close the door. They're able to relax. They still can take phone calls if they have to, but it's still in a private. As a barbershop, we forget that it's still the talking and the loudness. So sometimes they might not want to deal with that. So as a Lux member, you actually get that private area.
It feels like a private club where I can get pampered. That is fire. Now, the barbers, because people are people. Not only are you shifting the mindset around your client base, your stakeholders who are coming in, now, as you talked about, Jeremy, from 2020 and what barbering was, now you have to shift their mindset about, no, you're not just cutting the head and keeping it pushing. So how has that gone for you from a barbering standpoint?
I think it's still a learning process. A lot of our barbers here, they're not renting booths. they get paid regardless. So we want to focus more on the quality of the cut. So when our barbers come in, all they do is show up and cut hair. So that alone is shifting. That takes away of the worriness of like, am I gonna have clients today? They don't have to get to do their hustle and bustle. It's treated as a regular 9 to 5. And they're also learning in the process. They're learning what a top tier haircut, a top tier service look like. So if they ever decide to branch off and then go back into their own suite, they was like, hey, I know this worked at Hammer and Nails. Let me try this in my own suite.
Or they may want to open their own location. We encourage that as well. If they're business owners, we encourage them to go on and do bigger and better things.
Yeah. I think it then becomes multifactorial, right? I had a conversation at this one event I did a keynote on, and they said, well, what is the solution? I don't know what the solution is for the culture, but one solution is what you're doing. And what I mean by that is creating a place that is an entity, that is an LLC, where you can hire those who you choose to hire, black, brown, white, whomever, but then pouring into those individuals and then allowing those individuals to learn what you all do. And if they move on and grow, then they move on and grow. That's okay. So
that's you should want that. Yeah.
Specifically, credit to you all, because I believe it's like 90% of the black businesses or black and brown BIPOC businesses are single owner businesses. They're sole proprietors. So it's a big deal to have an LLC. You have to have somebody that is cleaning. You have to have somebody that is cutting hair. You have to have somebody that is at your front desk. So credit to you for doing that. So where you are today, not a year in yet. I think a year is what, October is when I first walked in here when it was a little rainy and I had a whole lot of questions for y'all.
I think you walked in September. Yeah.
In September. So y'all, the grand opening was in October. Okay, dope. So a couple months. So how do y'all feel? Now let's talk about the feeling. Like when you step back from a wellness perspective, I know as business owners, we're always running, but when you step back, have you looked at the magnitude of what you've been able to put together?
I think that's the rewarding part right now. When they say that your first year is the toughest year, sometimes you got to take the money aspect out of it and just see what you're doing. Every day, it's not going to be a easy day, but it's going to be a rewarding day. Coming in and talking to the clients, seeing how their day going, different aspects, different walks of life. I've learned so much from some young men all the way up to older men, and just pouring. I'm pouring into them, they're pouring into me, and it's. I felt like this something that spoke to me. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, but this right here has kind of gave me the platform to be able to talk authentic without having to feel like any judgment.
Having a code switch, you at home and you make people feel at home.
Because this is ours. We get to, a lot of places you're in and spaces, you have to kind of tuck it in. Let me, you gotta fit in. This is ours. Like,
What I think Mel answered it, but I don't know if you answered it, Jeremy. What does success look like for you?
It's still like
figuring it out.
shaping it. Yeah, it's still shaping. Some days success look like just being just
The nicely.
being happy, just seeing that everything is starting to come together. I haven't really put a dollar amount or an overall thing on success yet, because I'm still learning.
For both of you, as entrepreneurs and with the entrepreneur mindset, we get into this space where we're hungry for more, right? And then we don't look to see what we've already built. So like, how do you process the feeling of I've done a lot, but I feel I need to do more, to actually slow yourself down from a wellness perspective, to then go back to the drawing board to be able to continue to build? I guess a lot of words to say. How do you slow yourself down? How do you regulate? How do you say to yourself, we are on this road, we're doing well, we just need to keep going and keep at it? Because we can trick ourselves sometimes and feel like we're just not doing enough. Like, how does that work for you?
You have to step back and appreciate where you're at and look where you came from. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves, like you said, that we feel like we're not doing enough. I feel like, I think I was just telling either Mel or I was telling my homeboys, this is probably the first time in my life where I was like, I'm okay right now. Like I feel like I'm doing enough right now. And once I get this accomplished or success, then I can take on more. But right now, what this is doing for the culture, the economy, it's enough.
So, wellness perspective, especially as a man, so self-talk. I feel like I'm doing enough right now. how did you get there? Like that's hard. Like that statement right there, you probably should have said it into the camera because that is really hard, especially for Black men. Like what led you to be able to get to that?
Just by the people I talk to every day, by coming in and the questions they're asking. I had a guy at the bar one day. He came down and he was like, I asked him, how was your day? He said, "He's going good." He was like, "How was yours?" I was like, "It was good." He was like, "Let me ask you this. How you doing? How's your mental doing?" And no one ever asks that. No one ever asks, how's your mental? Because we can look like we're doing great on the outside and mentally we could be really going through it. And so just by that question alone, it wasn't someone that I expected the question from. So that gave me enough to know that I'm doing the right thing here.
Good deal. So y'all in the people business. You mentioned energy earlier. So now let's talk about, because this is a wellness conversation as well. Let's talk about how do you reset? Like you're giving your energy out a lot to your barbers, to your staff, to your customers or clients. So if you're emptying your cup, how do you personally as entrepreneurs, how are y'all refilling y'all cup? What is wellness for y'all? What are y'all doing?
I'm very intentional about, like I said, I've been in self-care for a long time. I've been in therapy for a long time. The military would make you do that. You have to know how to self-regulate.
Yeah.
When you have soldiers, when you're briefing theater full of people, everything can't make you go off. And then that's something that's very hard for me to say, oh, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. That's how I've always been. I joined the military. I open businesses because I'm supposed to. So for me, my therapist actually reminds me like, hey, you're all right.
Yeah.
Remind your battle buddies to your left and right. You're all right. You're doing well. I remind him all the time, like, hey, you're doing great. Like, it's okay. It's okay to soak it in. It's okay to tap yourself on the back. So I'm very purposeful when it comes to, okay, I feel stressed. I feel like I'm burning out. Hey, Jeremy, can you cover down today, tomorrow? Take and give me some time. And he does it. And I do it for him.
As much as you're willing to share, because some people don't even know when they feel stressed. How do you know when you're stressed?
You just have to pay attention to your body. It's just like energy. When you're burning out, when you have brain fog, when you're irritable, when you're drinking too much, when you're eating too little, it's anything that feels deregulated in your system. That's how you know. A lot of people feel it. They feel the hurt. They feel the burnout. And they're like, I'm going to keep going because I have to pay the bills. I have to take care of the kids. I have to, have to, have to.
Yeah.
Without you, all of those things will fail.
Yeah.
So you have to prioritize
Absolutely.
it. It's not negotiable.
Love that. Jeremy, how you do it? How do you self-regulate? How do you get your cup filled?
That's something that I've had to learn and actually step back and realize what's going on. But I've learned to just be at peace, like step back, cut everything off, distance myself from people because I'm a people person. So long as you picking up the phone and calling me, I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to try to help you out as much as I can. And so once the business opened up and everything got so hectic, I had to learn to say, hey, you got to take some time for Jeremy. You got to step back and get yourself together before you can be anything for anybody else. So just stepping back, taking time and going to the gym, learning how to be in therapy because it's hard because I wasn't raised around therapy. I don't have too many friends that actually go to therapy, so that's one way. And spending time with my daughter. I think spending time with my daughter and seeing how like she's the fruits of my labor is actually paying off. So that's me stepping back.
Yeah, I probably had a cell phone since I was, well, I guess I'm dating myself, but since I was like 18, 19, because we had beepers. But at the age that I am now, I literally just started using Do Not Disturb on my phone. Like I never really, like I always felt like, well, what if my mama needed to hit me? Well, what if this was, all these what ifs and scenarios that we create that are catastrophes in our heads, another part of stress that we're not even recognizing. If they really need to get a hold of you, call twice. You know what I'm saying? It'll come through.
Well, not only that, if you're the single point of failure, then if you're a single point, then they already failed. If they're depending on you that much, then the system's already messed up.
Love it. I gotta tease that to the camera. That is one that I wanna draw that out. He says single point of failure. So if that individual is only relying on you, then that's already an issue. Then your stress level is always gonna be high because you also know that that person is always only relying on you. That's a dope one. That's absolutely dope. So what's next for y'all, man? Before I get to my final question, what's next?
Just continue growing the business, getting the name out. I think that's probably the biggest thing, getting more people in, I think since it is Hammer and Nails, I think a lot of people overlook the name. So I think we got to get more education. Yeah, try to get more people in here, spread the word. I feel like advertisement right now, like word of mouth is probably the best advertisement because as men, we only gonna go off for what somebody else has said when it comes to barbering. That's the biggest thing. I feel like it's easier to get men in here to do the manicures and pedicures because it's new to them.
For sure.
But as a barber, we're very, very particular about our barbers and we live and die by them.
Yeah, and I, man, don't kill me, don't unsubscribe me, please, y'all. But folks can't cut in the DMV, man. Like I'm from Buffalo, man. Shout out to Big J, man. My barber back home is dope. Now, I say that, and that's not a shot fired because I have got my haircut at Hammer and Nails. The folks at Hammer and Nails can cut. But generally, it's hard to find a good barber, man. Like you said, I'm very particular.
Everyone thinks they're a master barber.
Yeah.
We've learned that through the journey that everyone, even if I think if you're a master at anything, if you only cut one hair type and one texture, that's not a master.
Not even close.
But if you say that out loud, it's
Yeah.
so taboo. But I'm a very blunt, honest person. So this is why I love this space and platform because I think, people hit a certain age, 40, 50, and they're like, that's when, people say they start saying whatever.
Yeah.
I did that in 28. At 28, it was like, you just have to, that's when you attract. Like energy is also speaking up for yourself.
For sure.
And that's when you start attracting.
I agree. I think I got kicked out of every high school I went to, so I popped out the womb like saying what was on my mind. Like it was like, hey, either you're gonna take it or not. I'm here, world. But in the what's next, like what is the need that you would like to communicate to my audience? Like what's in it for y'all? Like what do you need? Advertising, clients, barbers, like
Marketing, definitely clients, and collaborations. I would love to collaborate with other, especially Black owners, ethnic owners, people who are in the same space as us. And because, like I said, we can build so much off of this. Estheticians, we can provide braiding services. Right now, especially for the Black culture that get braids and locticians, we don't provide that service. So even being able to collaborate with people and say, hey, oh, you do braids and you do this and you do that. Let's find a space and then make this I like to work with people. I like to let's grow. And I'm from the Caribbean. I grew up in New York, where every corner has a corner store. Every corner, literally every corner has a bodega, and all of them sell the same stuff, same milk, same eggs, and they're all pack out. So because we could all eat.
Love that. Love that. So I started this podcast, Expediting Change, because I believe we were in a space when George Floyd was unfortunately murdered near my birthday, and I'm a Gemini, so I'm real emotional. And I was in this space where I was like, fuck this hitting the street shit. Like this hitting the street shit is only temporary, right? Like we have to be in a place where we offer spaces and opportunities for individuals to expedite change today, to expedite shit now. The name of our organization, our non-for-profit, is Equity Now. Not because we asking for it, we begging for it 30 years from now. We want it now. So the hot seat question for both of y'all to answer is, what are you doing for real people in the communities, for the culture today? How are you supporting the culture? How are you expediting change?
I feel like we're expediting change by giving men a safe place to come and talk, to have real conversations and with like-minded people, and also get a haircut and a drink and a pedicure and manicure in the same.
Right. All rolled into it.
Shop. But yeah, most of all, creating a safe space because we feel like we don't have a safe space. I learned over the years is that me and you could have the same problem and we not even know it because we feel like we're only fighting it ourselves. And as a man, if we break our leg, we'll let the world know we broke our leg. But when our heart is broke, don't nobody know it.
Ooh, I like that. Say that one more time. I like that.
So when we break our leg, we let the world know because that's like I'm tough.
Yeah.
But when our heart is broke, we don't let nobody know. And I want to create the space where you can come in. Let's come in and have a talk. Come in and have a drink with me.
Yeah.
Let's get through this because I've been through that. The guy beside you's been through that. Yeah. And they can help you get through it.
Now, how you expediting change? That was Jeremy's answer. You can't take Jeremy's answer now.
Oh, I'm not. I'll talk for days, honey. So me, simply put, is seeing us here expedites change. Because I didn't grow up in a culture. I grew up in the ghetto with bars on windows and shoot. We were jumping rope, shoot out. You drop down, you wait for it to clear, and you continue jumping rope, right? So seeing people like us who can show up the way we show up. Usually my nails are very much longer with the tattoos and all of this. So seeing people like me who could still be a professional, who could be an entrepreneur, who could be successful. And I have stories for days where everything you could think of that I've been through. I could, and it could have stopped me. I could have used my past as a reason, as a crutch. And I volunteer a lot for young adults to say, hey, I know you went through that. But even after a certain age, it's your responsibility to be whatever, it's possible. You can't blame it on the circumstances. And then from seeing us in these spaces and rooms, then it tells the next person, hey, I could be that too. I could be a liar too. I could be, and just self-care and take care of yourself, comb your hair, put your makeup on. And, it's for men, but seeing me here and me pouring into the men as well and saying, hey, have a drink, relax, what you want on TV, what kind of sports. That's me just self-caring for people.
That, man, listen, the two things I don't play with is individuals' money and individuals' time. So I sincerely appreciate y'all for being on Expediting Change. This has been a lovely conversation. Listen, y'all, I got so much to wrap this up, but I don't want Drew and Sophia yelling at me because it's a 30-minute wrap up after a 50-minute podcast, but I'm going to take it from the perspective of wellness. And a function of that wellness, I'm a move on the tail end of what Mel just said. Wellness is also, if you can see it, you can believe it. And if you can see it and believe it, you can become it. And they're showing that, right? They are a young, Black, aspiring individuals with a business that you can walk into that are also employing other individuals. But let's not get it twisted. When I asked them specifically about pouring into their own cup, they both mentioned and talk about therapy. Therapy is no longer taboo in our community. We're not debating it. If you are not spiritually grounded and believing in something that is higher than yourself, not telling you who or what to believe in, and then mentally going out and getting support for your mental health, I absolutely love, and I'm going to steal, and I hope he doesn't sue me. A man could break his leg and tell everybody, but his heart gets broken and he tells nobody. I love that. You're going to hear that again on Expediting Change. The point in that is going and getting that support for your mental, because what your mind thinks, your beliefs drive your behaviors, and your behaviors drive your results. We didn't even talk a lot about and go into the numbers of the business and how the business was put together from a numbers perspective. I intended to not focus on that because I wanted to show the other side of wellness from business owners that look like you and me, and their priority is taking care of their spirituality and their mental health. They gonna get the bag. Hammer and Nails is going to be solid. They're going to have the number of clients that they need more than what they already have. Abundance is plentiful and it is already there for us and for you. You just have to make sure that you're mentally well enough to say, I am ready for it and it is for me. This has been Expediting Change. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Subscribe, like, follow, share. Bang, bang.